guys? Welcome to Fantasy Effect episode 108. We got some rookie my guys this week. We do have our own free Discord and Patreon. Please DM us if you guys are interested in that on X and or Blue Sky. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe to the video. Holler and McSpanky are with me tonight. How's it going tonight, guys?
It's going, man. One more week. We finally can stop talking about these hypotheticals and see where
I
actual
can't wait.
players are going to go.
Yeah.
It's going to be exciting.
I am stoked.
We get the semi-answers, and then we get the wait again.
We get to see the five people that are actually there at Green Bay. That'll be fun.
Yeah,
well, I think we're going to see a few of them maybe just sit there waiting for their name to be called with Milroe.
That's what I was going to say.
There's a couple other ones that are like, I don't know if they're going to go in the first, but maybe.
Yeah. I think they just went down the list. They're like, oh, no. Crap. They all said no.
They all said no. They told me no.
Shoot, let's get him. Some idiot might like him. Let's get him. That's Milroe. I was actually listening to some local sports radio, and they said that the Rams like it would be cool if they got Milroe. I was like, what are we talking about, guys?
Why would it be cool?
I said I wanted to call in and say no, it would not be cool. That would be terrible. Dude. Please don't do that. They're just saying they want McVay wants a mobile quarterback. It's like, okay, well, that's all you can do.
That can throw.
Exactly. Yeah, I was gonna say
you
can't have.
I think Milroe can throw the ball, but it's more like in the Anthony Richardson of you want to see me chuck it over the mountains. And that's about it.
That's fair. He can. Let me clarify that. He can throw. He's got a rocket on him. It's just he's got no.
Got one speed.
Like ready, fire, aim, and he just kind of it's all
like,
over the place.
Like Joe Milton.
You see that, coach?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man!
And he can't read a defense. It's like if the play design goes to one guy and that guy's covered, it's like, well, I'm gonna throw it anyways because I don't know where else it's supposed to go.
Right.
So.
What's that wide receiver's name? Ryan Williams?
Oh, from Alabama.
Yeah. But Ryan,
they had a couple guys. They had like that Jeremy Bernard was okay. But yeah, they haven't had wide receivers like Julio and Amari Cooper for a minute now. That Ryan Williams is good.
Ryan Williams is very good.
We'll get to him.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a few more years.
And then we'll all be sick of them, picking them apart.
Should we get into some news here?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, let's go.
All right. Joe Flacco. Just stop me if any of these things are interesting. It's a lot of news. Joe Flacco signs with the Browns. As I said that idea, I was like, "There's no news." So, Joe Flacco signs with the Browns. Jeez Louise. Derek Carr has an apparent shoulder injury that could make him miss the whole season.
So I think the Derek Carr one's probably the most interesting. I think. It kind of came out of nowhere, right? Like
it did.
I know he was hurt last year. Yeah. I don't know if it's like he just doesn't get I don't know if he didn't heal up or what the deal is, but this is a new injury. There wasn't a lot of details. There was just kind of that one report that it was like, hey, he's not right. He might need to get shoulder surgery, I think is what they're saying. Dude, I don't know. Like that makes the Saints pick at 9. That makes them pretty interesting, I think. Like if they because Spencer Rattler's been in their building for a year now. I think they know that's not the answer. He's not the heir apparent to the Saints. So do they take Shedeur Sanders if he's there at 9? Do they, if Sanders is gone and they can't trade up, do they take Jackson Dart? Do they wait and try to get like a Milroe at the top of the second and hope that he doesn't suck? Like, I don't know. Like they're kind of in a bad spot because they don't really have like cap money to go out and like sign anybody. Now if there's anybody really left. Dude, I don't know. They're in a real bad spot.
And like Nick said, they missed out on the Joe Milton, that sweepstakes, unfortunately.
That's your sweepstakes.
You're
in trouble.
But I think it's tough. There's I've seen so many different things with Sanders kind of falling, but then again, this came out, and I think if he's there at 9, I don't see why they would overlook him unless they're just like, okay, let's go with Rattler for the year and then we'll suck and we'll see.
And what, take Drew Aller next year?
Yeah, and then whoever pops
I
up,
mean,
right? But
sure.
because we could talk about it for as long as we want, but nobody knows what Arch Manning's going to do, if he's going to come out next year or the year after.
I think he's
so-
the 2027 guy.
Yeah, and we're not going to question that. He's got the Mannings, like he's got the whole family that's all pretty good at football. So I just think
Okay.
at 9, if Sanders is there, I don't think he's going to get past the Saints.
I don't think so.
But then again, who knows, right? I talked about this every pod we've had, but I don't like these quarterbacks. So if I was the Saints, which I'm not a general manager, but I would probably just pick, the best available, call Drew Brees and call it a day.
Yeah, man,
Well,
this is
so
the.
are
I think
they
this
a
is
dark
mainly.
horse for Rodgers.
It's
I
possible.
guess.
Could they get desperate enough to bring in Aaron Rodgers?
How are they
Like,
paying him though? Like that's
Yeah.
the only thing, right? Is like
you're
they're already
not
in a
wrong
cap
at
situation.
all.
They can't keep kicking it down the road. Like they're not in a position.
Sure.
That roster can't compete. Like
Yeah, they shouldn't at all. But like they haven't been willing
Oh,
to
no,
lose for the past
Yeah.
2 or 3 years, and we've been saying you think you should maybe turn it in and not do this, and just kind of
Yeah, and then
take
Nick, that's a
down
good
year.
call. Garrett Nussmeier's dad's on the staff. So
Oh, boy.
maybe that's a good point. I
That's
think we talked about that a
interesting. I
couple of
didn't
weeks
know
ago. And yeah, I think maybe they miss, or not miss, but they don't take Shador at 9. There's plenty of, in my opinion, there's plenty of options in 26 if they were to just go down the route of Spencer Rattler. I don't I don't think they should go the route of Aaron Rodgers. And obviously it's going to be a rough year fantasy wise if it's
that's
Spencer
going to
Rattler.
kill Chris Olave even more, and he's already kind of having.
If he wasn't,
bad
I was gonna
and
say
then,
if he wasn't
and then
dead already,
Shaheed, he
Same
only
thing.
has value because Derek
Probably.
Carr just hucks him, go balls, and he happens to hit him a couple times. But Rattler's not going
You
to.
think?
Rattler's bad, wasn't he? Am I misremembering how bad he was?
No, he was terrible.
I don't remember it
Do you
being
think-
good.
Okay.
Do you guys think it's possible that they're just blowing smoke to see if they can get somebody to say Shador's there at 9? They're trying to get somebody to come up and pay for Shador.
Maybe.
I don't think they
who's
will.
Coming
But
up though, Pittsburgh.
that's what I was going. The only team that I thought about was Pittsburgh. But
The
in my opinion,
Steelers.
if the Saints don't take him at 9, I don't really see a team in between there that would take Shador. Right? I think he would then end up at whatever it is, 21. I think with the Steelers.
Would the Colts take him at 14?
Oh,
I don't-
my Lord.
No,
I
I
don't
don't think
think
they
they
can.
can do that.
I mean,
Good
it's the
Lord.
Colts, man. They might.
I know.
So-
What a show.
But no, this
that
is-
would
No, I'm with
be.
you though.
I think it was
Dallas
some.
at 12.
Wait, are you
No,
talking about
I-
quarterback?
Yeah, with Sanders. His dad played there. They're not they've
Yeah,
talked
I
about
mean-
shopping Dak before. The Cowboy Jerry Jones does some weird shit sometimes, man. I don't know.
If
Yeah, I
Gino
mean-
wasn't in Las Vegas, I would think it was a possibility because there was the whole trade
Tom
for the
Brady.
pick to take Shador, trade Dak for the pick. Had that happened, I'd be like, yeah, 100%. But man, I don't know. I don't think you can bring that circus in to sit behind Dak in a place that's already
Yeah.
a circus. Not that they're,
mean-
we're not going to do more circusy things, but
I know this is weird last year, but the Falcons took Michael Penix after they just gave Kirk
Sure.
Cousins a crap ton of money.
Fair.
So I don't know,
Fair.
man.
That's
some of
true.
These teams do weird shit. If they see a quarterback they like and they're like, hey, maybe this works out. So I don't know. Nothing surprises
guys-
me more in the NFL. They're crazy.
Obviously, this guy's not very reputable, but I don't get to see it because it's the behind ESPN Plus. But Mel Kiper and Field Yates did a mock, and they had maybe I will see it, but they had Shador at 9 to the Saints.
I can.
So
see that.
I think
I think
that
makes a lot of
gonna
sense.
happen.
Yeah.
mhm,
Oof. It's gonna be interesting.
definitely.
Is Shador? Is he going? He's not going to the draft, is he? I think he declined. Right? He's gonna be.
I
home.
didn't see him on the
He's probably got the
graphic.
entire Colorado stadium booked out, and every celebrity will be there, and there will be a
with his jersey
3-day
retirement
special.
for going 13
Yeah.
and 12 and
You guys remember when LeBron made the decision to go to
do remember
Miami,
that, of
and it was
course.
like a 4-day special on ESPN? We're going
Not
5
one,
days.
not two, not three. I remember. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my lord.
I remember that, and I
Yeah.
remember it was terrible. He shouldn't. Yeah,
Shador is gonna hold us captive like that.
I don't think anyone
Well,
cares as much, to be fair.
I care
No.
less and less. I enjoy kind of watching it from afar though. Like it doesn't really bother me
Sure.
as much as it bothers some other people. Like I kind of find it funny, the things
Sure.
that happen with Deion and Shador and the ridiculous stuff. Like,
Yeah.
can't believe you'd say that. Should we get into these my guys before I just keep rambling about nothing?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Okay. Am I up first?
start us
Yeah.
off.
Ready to rock? All right. So my first guy is Mr. Bashal Tootin. I don't know if I said his first name right.
Well done.
Tootin. Thank you. I got an A in English. Anyway,
Me too.
Impressive. I didn't.
it's debatable. It was a while back.
There's no fact checking. You're fine.
Yeah.
You got an A+.
Yeah. Good luck. Find out for yourself. Anyway,
Call
so
school district.
yeah, do it. God, I wish somebody would. That'd be great. That'd probably go down with like the DeAndre Swift murder phone call if I had to bet. Anyway, so Mr. Bashal Tootin, Virginia Tech running back. Dude, like literally, it's like watching a track meet. If you turn on his highlights, it's just like him like sprinting down the field in straight lines. I didn't see much wiggle like, side to side with him. But what I did like though is I thought he was a lot more physical. Because when you hear about the speed coming out of the Senior Bowl and from the combine, he runs the 4.2 or whatever, and everybody's like, "Oh my god, he's like the fastest guy ever." And then you don't think of him as a physical back, but he'll lower his shoulder and he actually breaks a lot of arm tackles. He breaks out of a lot of stuff. He comes out of a lot of piles. And like, if this dude gets out of a pile, like he's gone. It's over with at that point in time. Nobody's catching him. He's pretty much as a zone runner. The only issues have been the fumbles. And
I know you said only,
also,
but that's a big only.
Yeah, it's a big issue. Yeah, it's like 1 in every 40 carries. I think I saw. I think he has on there.
Yep.
But also he's got more than 75 yards after contact in over half of his games. So for being just a straight speed guy, like he gets yards after contact. So he's not your average. I can only do straight line speed stuff.
Yeah, he's fast and like he's 211. Like he had like 20 pounds on Devon Achane, and they ran the same 40 time. And I think a lot of people saw that 40 time and they said, "Oh, it's like another like fast dude." It's like, yeah, he's fast, but he's thick, dude. Tootin, he's a big boy. He's more physical than you would initially think too, seeing that 40 time. Also, I think he plays fast. Like I think there are some guys that just run like straight line speed that are like fast. I think he plays like legit at that speed. He can move. Like I think he had the fastest GPS time at the Senior Bowl. Like in pads. Like he can move. Like he's legit fast. But like you said, the fumbles, dude. So 2 seasons at Virginia Tech, fumbled 9 times. That's 1 fumble every 40 touches. That is not like especially where I think he's probably going to go like draft capital wise. Like I think he's probably going to go like in the end of the 3rd, like early 4th. Like he's probably like that day 2, day 3 kind of thin fringe kind of pick. Like you don't get the same level of like forgiveness as like if you were a first round running back who fumbled. Like they're like, oh, like all right, man, like go back there, figure it out. Some of these guys, if you fumble, like you might be down to the like 3rd, 4th on the depth chart and be like, all right, you're fighting for. You're fighting for reps now, dude. So the other thing too is like they didn't really use him as a receiver at Virginia Tech. He caught a decent amount of balls though, but they were all just like dump offs in the flat or just like little screen passes to be like, here, just go see if you can run past a bunch of people. So I think that can kind of be developed. The interesting thing about him too, he was a 0-star recruit out of high school. He went to North Carolina A&T and then played 2 years there and then transferred to Virginia Tech, where he played the last 2 years. So kind of love to see that, like a kid that kind of came out of nowhere, and then now he's going to get drafted in the NFL. That's awesome. So
yeah.
If he can clean up the fumbles, dude, like he's going to be good.
Yeah.
Like I like this one.
Yeah, I like him a lot too.
Any special teams?
I don't think so. Let me see.
Okay.
I don't think
if he can
Virginia Tech.
Yeah, I wonder if he can return kicks, because that would be his way to stick with his speed, and the way kickoffs are now. He's just got to break the one tackle. So
yeah, Nick had a good comment here. If he goes to Shanahan tree, like look out, which I agree. Like he reminds me of, not necessarily they're different players, but like Isaac Garendo. Garendo went in the 4th round. He went to the 49ers. And I think Garendo was used more because of the injuries there in San Fran. But when he was used, he like was pretty darn good. So for me, I think if Tootin can get on a good like open team, so like an RB2, I think then he'll be used. And then obviously if he can clean up the running backs, or excuse me, the fumbles, then he'll be very useful, I think, for fantasy. He's got some, like I was looking at some things, and he doesn't usually so sometimes he won't run into like what's blocked for him. So he has some areas for improvement. So for me, he's got to land on a team with, good coaching and somewhere that it can help him get better.
So I was pulling up his special team snaps. He played 4 snaps on special teams this past year. He did 52 the year before at Virginia Tech, and he did quite a bit at NC A&T. So he can do it. He's at least done it a little bit. I don't know if it's like his wheelhouse, but he can do it.
Right.
But I think he'd be good for the new kick return rules. I think it was a good call, Ron. Like I think he's kind of the guy you want. Like he's got the speed and he can break tackles, right? Like he's
it just gives him a path to stick onto a roster and hopefully catch a few games here or there. You get to start him or something like that. I'm not expecting huge things from Scoot and Tootin here.
That's the thing, like if you play special teams, you get a roster, and you get one of those 53 roster spots. Next thing you know, a running back goes down, and you're there on the sideline, and you're on the field. So
yeah. I was surprised he got all the way up to one mock. He was at 19. So what is that? 207. So like that's a little
draft?
high. Yeah, rookie draft. Yeah, he was like all the way to 19. So for me, that's a little high.
I thought you said like a rookie, like a NFL mock, and I was like,
so that's where I went first. So I was like, oh my god.
Our mocks, so the rookie ADP that we put
together. Did I
take
him from 207? That feels like something I would have done.
Possibly, I don't know. I didn't put down who did what, but that was probably right after the it could have been me too. I remember taking him pretty early in one mock.
Or after the combine, we were
right after the combine. But I think he'll settle in and as a nice 3rd round running back, and if he lands on a good spot, and then maybe we'll creep into the back end of the 2nd.
What's a good spot for him?
I was just thinking in my head. Yeah, well, I think, like I said, he needs good coaching. So like a Shanahan, or like obviously the McVay, they don't need. Mm-hmm. Oh geez, that'd
be sweet.
I think it's fine. There's openings there. Yeah,
it's him and Ford, or maybe Minnesota sitting behind Aaron Jones for a little bit.
Yeah, Minnesota.
Jordan Mason could do something.
Yeah,
that would make me really think about Garendo. Yeah, the Giants. Kansas City would be fun. So I think there's a lot of spots that he could go. Right. I think he settles into a really nice running back 2. So one
New Orleans,
right?
With Alvin Kamara kind of aging out a little bit.
Yeah, but what's his name's gone. So that could mean what's his name for the other running back has an opportunity.
Kendra Miller.
Yeah. Dennis Allen's gone.
Dennis Allen's gone, so he's out of the doghouse.
I don't know, man.
For a little bit.
I think there's a lot of good spots. I just think it will depend where, because
Cincinnati could be fun with him and Chase Brown. Could be a nice little.
Yeah,
because he's bigger. Chase Brown's more the pass catching guy, and so there's a lot of openings.
Which LA? Oh, the Chargers.
Oh, Chargers with Najee. Yeah,
that makes sense. I can see that too. Honestly, I can see the Raiders too. They don't have anybody.
Mm-hmm. So my second guy is Jalen Royals, the wide receiver out of Utah State.
That's my boy.
He is
Let's
not
go.
the fastest top end speed guy, but dude, like the initial burst of him looks like he's shot out of a cannon. It's like, whoa, oh my lord. He's really tough holding onto the ball too. The quarterback didn't do him any favors. He took a lot of slants and took a lot of punishment on those slants. Rough stuff, but I mean, he held on to pretty much most of everything that I saw, that he could catch. He's also had some down the field work as well, some back shoulder stuff, and some deep work too is on film. So I think he can really work all three levels of the field. I think he is best using his speed though underneath, quick hitting stuff. I do wish he broke more arm tackles. He pretty much catches that slant and immediately goes down every single time that corner's on his back. And you're not playing at the highest level of competition either, being out in the Mountain West. And so I just wish that, you saw a little bit more of that, but we are talking about a rather deep guy. So I do think he could have some uses, if he got the ball in his hands in some space for sure.
Yep. I like him a lot too. I have him in like the range between after like Higgins and Trey Harris, right? So after that is like I have him 8, 9, and 10 with Noel, A.O. Maynor, and then Royals, right? So any of those three guys, I would be happy to get.
I think he has a little bit. I think he has a little bit faster than you gave him credit for, Ron. Like top end wise, I think he's
still 4.4. I'm just like the way that burst comes off, but like he's quick
as hell though. Yeah,
and there's no 4.2 speed, to follow that burst. So like there's other 4.4 people, in the NFL. You know what I mean? Like so, it's not. That's what I'm saying is he's just not the fastest top end guy.
He had over 15 yards per reception each year at Utah State. He was there. He over yards per route run. He was over 2 both years. He was at 3 this year. He got hurt. He only played in 7 games. That Boise State game, I think you brought it up. Like he actually played a bit more in the slot that game than he had been, and that was his best game. Went over 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. That was by far the best team that Utah State played this last year. Yeah. Like you mentioned, he didn't have a good quarterback throwing on the ball. It was Switzer Petrus, which was an Iowa transfer. So Iowa's not exactly known for their offense, and then he couldn't make it there, and he went to Utah State. So, not awesome. He did well against Utah as well. He had 4 catches, 44 yards, not terrible, but he's a good player, man. Like part of the problem too is that offense is goofy as hell. So I talk about this in the Discord the other day, but like they put their outside receivers outside the numbers, and so they try to spread everything super wide, kind of like Tennessee does. And so he doesn't have a full route tree. And like I know a couple of the scouting reports I saw, they said like, oh, he doesn't like play the boundary very well. And it's like, well, it's because he lines up on the sideline. He can't really use, keep the boundary when you're like 2 yards off the edge of the the sideline. So the route tree's not all the way there. They use them a lot on screens and slants and just let them say like, hey, you're fast, see what you can do. He did awesome. He had 15 touchdowns his sophomore year in 2023, and then he only had 6 in 7 games this past year. Like I watched him quite a bit. He was basically the entire offense for Utah State when he was on the field. He's fantastic.
Did you?
I think he can play in or out. Honestly, I think he's good enough to do either way. But
did you highlight his Boise State game? That one was he was so good against them. Holy moly!
Yeah. He was and then, the only reason. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he can return competitive. He can return kicks as well. Obviously, it's different in the NFL, but I still think that's a possibility. So for me, he's going to be on the field. I think he'll be a nice wide receiver 3, right? But I do think he could be a wide receiver 2 depending where he goes. I think he's going to get day 2 capital round 2, late round 2 or round 3. So for me, I think he's easily in the back end of the second or beginning of the third in rookie drafts, and I think he'll be a nice bench flex guy.
Yeah, and like he had a 1.4. I know Ron, you touched on it. His 10-yard split was 1.49, which was tied for first. It was tied with Matthew Golden for the fastest 10-yard split for wide receivers at the combine, which kind of highlights that burst. A comp I saw for him was actually Mike Wallace, which I kind of like. I think he kind of plays that similar. Like he could be a burner somewhere for a team or. I'm curious to see where he goes. I think he can be a nice like third piece. I don't think he's ever going to be like a 1 for a team, but I think he could be a solid low end 2 or like a high end like third piece. Like say he went to like Cincinnati to play outside of Higgins and Jamar Chase. Like I think he would be awesome there. Granted, I think you could say that with a lot of guys, but I think if he can go somewhere where he's not forced to be like the guy. But he can kind of be like a secondary piece. I think he can be really successful.
Yeah, like if Dallas doesn't go wide receiver round 1 and they do like 2 or 3, he can go opposite of CeeDee Lamb would be good. So I think he's got like he could be a really good player if he goes to a team with a good quarterback and a good wide receiver. So
I think he could do well out in LA with the Rams and Stafford and McVay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wide receiver 3 would be.
Oh yeah, that would be real nice. Or the Chargers. Oh, with Justin Herbert.
Yeah, they need wide receivers as well. I did see. I was looking up earlier. Like I did see another comp of Chris Godwin. I was like, okay, Godwin's a really really good player. Let's cool the Jets a little bit. But it's cool to see that like he's got a little bit of that game in him. I can see a little bit of it, but.
There's a lot of slants on that, Phil.
Yeah.
A lot of slants. Bye, Spanky.
Bye-bye. So one of my guys is Brashard Smith. Unfortunately, he was a sleeper a couple weeks ago. And now he's well-known. But I don't think he's going to really go higher than the third or fourth round. A couple weeks ago, he was, firmly in the fourth round, and I think he's just like getting a little more hype. But for me, he was in Spanky's, Fez. He was third out of the 24 graded running backs, which is pretty darn good. Especially since he's only played running back for 1 year. He used to be a wide receiver. 3 years at Miami, and then he transferred to SMU to play running back. So, man, if you read my article about our mock drafts and our rookie ADP, he was in there, and man, he's got the yards per carry, and he had a ton of productivity last year. He's got good speed, good vision. So for me, he's going to be more like an RB2, a change of pace guy. He's not going to be your top end guy, but if he gets on a team that, has injuries, or he lands on a team like we saw what happened with Tyrone Tracy, I think he has that same ability if he gets that opportunity. So yeah, for me, he's, take a shot on him at the, end of the third or fourth. And you could reap those benefits like you did if you took Tyrone Tracy. Like I had 24 shares. I think I have less now. I've moved quite a bit, but I took like Tyrone Tracy all the time, right? And so, yes, I mean, obviously, that's not going to happen every time, but those are guys that could help you win your fantasy.
Tyrone Tracy was awesome because he was a late add to Sleeper, and so his ADP was buried for the longest time, and so you had to scroll all the way to the bottom. So he was like free for the longest time. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen with Brashard Smith. He's already in there. You highlighted it, right? Like obviously he's a good weapon out of the backfield. He's a former wide receiver. So I would be concerned if he wasn't a good pass catcher after transitioning to running back. The thing that's with him,
that might be why he had to transition.
That's fair. He's still raw as a runner, right? Like the vision's not all the way there.
He looks like a wide receiver playing running back. Like
he runs so upright. Like
I can't. That's what it is. I couldn't put my finger on it, but like I was like, dude, like you just look like a wide receiver, like all the time.
And he's still learning, right? Like it's his first year as a running back. Like it's pretty damn good, for your first year as a running back. Like there's nothing to say that, like, getting into an NFL program with a running back coach that he can't develop and be awesome. I think he definitely can, right? It's just where's he going to go? And do they have the patience to kind of teach him a little bit?
Yeah,
that's my only concern, right? Because like he's definitely more like a 1B kind of guy. He kind of profiles as like the 1B.
Yeah.
change of pace. Yeah,
He's not going to be like the every down like hitter, but I don't think he needs to, right? Like he's kind of in that same mold of like the Jahmyr Gibbs and like some of those running backs who are just like, or like the Achans that are just they're fast. They can legitimately house a touch that they get. They don't need 20, 25 touches like Derrick Henry does. They can be just great with 10, especially if they're catching, they're getting like 5-6 targets a game out of the backfield in PPR leagues. Like he's good to go.
And he has that home run speed too, man.
He does. Here they get rid of 4.39. I don't know if we touched on that.
Yeah.
4.39. Where is it? I have it on my. And then his. I thought I put his RAS in, but I did not. But yeah, no, he had a really good combine too. Right? Yeah, had a really good combine. So that's kind of another thing what kind of propped him up a little bit. He was, but a lot of people didn't really know about him in our mocks. His highest he went 35, and his lowest he went 42. So he didn't really move much in the in our mocks. He was like firmly in the fourth on all of them, and most people probably don't know exactly who he is, right? But I think a lot of people have started talking about him. So I think for him, it really will depend where he goes. And then you would probably feel more comfortable taking with him in like the third round if he gets a nice landing spot.
Also, he played special teams quite a bit, especially at Miami. So that is definitely, I think, his path to getting a jersey number, right, on the 53 man.
Yeah.
I would bet good money that if he goes day 3, he earns a roster spot based on playing special teams at some point. I think he's one of those guys too that's perfect for the new kick return rules, right? Like, he's a fast dude, good vision. At least in the open field. Like in the open field, he's pretty good. But
like I didn't think he was overly like physical or anything, but he was really slippery, and like he bounced off tackles really well, like basically for a wide receiver, between the tackles. Like I didn't. I know I said the thing where he, looks like a wide receiver playing running back, but like it looked good. It just looked odd.
It's
all.
Yeah, it's like Spanky said, he's raw, so like he's learning as we go. So I think it really is gonna, like, he's got to show out. I think in preseason, no matter where he goes, I think he's got to show that he's, good at it, like improving, and then he'll have to, prove himself on special teams, and then he'll get his spot. So, but yeah, I picked a couple of deeper guys. But yeah, you got like they could be deeper guys that could be possible league winners, like a Tyrone Tracy.
And also, like we called him raw, and like I know I said that he ran for over 1,300 yards this past year, and added let's see how many yards. He added another 330 through the air.
Almost 1,700 yards.
1,600. Yeah, like. And 14 touchdowns. Like he was pretty good. I mean, SMU made the playoffs, right? So like that wasn't like they were like bad by any means. So he's a good player.
Yeah, so they play in the ACC now, right?
Yep, they do. Yeah, they bought their way in.
At least like a decent-ish schedule. It's not like
you're
not playing a Mountain West schedule, or something.
Yeah, and I mean, he was good against Clemson in the conference championship game. We ran over 100 yards. He was a little worse against Penn State, but I mean, Penn State was a Final Four team. Like, there's nothing to hold them against that. Like, 17 carries, 63 yards. Like,
that's solid.
I mean, 4 receptions, 24 yards.
That's probably pretty good against Penn State.
Yeah,
honestly, he had like 87 total yards, including rushing, receiving, like 4 catches, 7. I mean, that's not bad. Like, no, because their quarterback kind of crapped his pants the whole game. So, I mean, to be fair, he was trying to hold his own against Abdul Carter. So it's I can't put too much blame.
It's tough when you see Drew Aller sitting on the sidelines. Tough.
I mean, I'd be shaking, dude. You see a real quarterback on the opposite sideline. It's like,
exactly right.
Why am I even here? Yeah.
All right. So my next guy, wide receiver, Ty Felton. He is a bit of a deeper player. 6 foot, 186. So the guy is a bit skinny. He'll need to, hit the weight room a bit, do a couple extra, bench press reps. But the dude that got better every year at Maryland, super good separator. And then he's super fast, right? And then one thing I love about him is he's physical, and he like yards after the catch is impressive, right? So and then also when I was watching some film, he like catching in traffic for how like skinny he is where it was impressive, right? He can hold the ball, and and then I know not many people talk about it, but he had a really good gauntlet as well. And I personally think the gauntlet is quite important for those wide receivers. So that was impressive as well. I think he's probably going to go day 3 with a possibility of going day 2. There's a couple guys, like reputable guys that have him in this, like Kyle Krabs has him in his top 100. So that would be, he will then, jump up a little bit in some rookie drafts, but I think take a shot on him in the 4th round, right? When other people don't really go after these type of guys. I think when he lands on a team and if they know how to use him, I think he could be pretty good.
Yeah, this is the one out of all the guys we're talking about that I struggled with the most.
Yeah, he's deeper wide receiver.
I know you have your Puka Nacua wide receiver, flowers. So I want to give you those when it comes to scouting out deep wide receivers. Dude, I don't know. We talked about this before the show too. It's like his range of outcomes is so like huge, right? Like, would it shock me if he went like pick like 95 at the back of the 3rd? No. Would it shock me if he went in like the 6th round? No, not at all. Like, I could see any of those being possible scenarios. These Maryland wide receivers I never know what to do with them because like they're so wide ranging. Like DJ Moore was a Maryland guy.
DJ Moore,
so he was good. But so was freaking Darius Hayward-Bay, and like I know it was a while ago, and maybe that's just some past trauma.
Bay is a different story.
There's one other one I can't think of it. He went out with same draft class as Cam Newton. I can't remember. He went to the Ravens.
Huh. I'm blanking on the name. But
keep going.
He graded kind of towards the back of mine in our Fez scores. He was 19th out of 29 graded wide receivers, so not awesome. Who'd you say?
Torrey Smith.
Oh, it was Torrey Smith. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, it was Torrey Smith. Torrey Smith
nice. Well done. He was solid. Yeah. There we go.
Dude, Felton is like, I think he's gonna be kind of more of a role player. Totally. I will say though, but like you mentioned, he got better every year at Maryland, right? He's a 4-year player. He got better each and every year. You love to see that kind of development. It shows that he's coachable, right? This last year, he was actually first team All Big Ten. So that's kind of cool. You like to see that. 1,100 total yards, 9 touchdowns on a team that really wasn't that good. Playing in the Big Ten against some good competition, like he did. Like, there's a path here, right? Like, and I think that's all you're looking for with some of these like late 3rd, early 4th round, rookie draft guys. Is like, is there a path to them being able to do something? Like,
exactly. And when I was looking things up, he had a workout with the Bills, so that's connected to a good quarterback. Chiefs, Broncos. He had virtuals with Chiefs, Broncos, Commanders, Cardinals, Titans, and Giants. Kind of tailored off there after the first 3, but I mean, for him, it's really going to depend where he goes and when he goes. But for me, I feel like he's got some of those traits that you can, feel good about taking him in the 3rd or 4th round. Because he has the possibility of being, with his speed, give yourself a 60-yard touchdown, and there you go.
Mm-hmm. He had some pretty good yak too, like
exactly.
Over 6 yards of yak per reception that he had. His yards per outrun was 2.32 this past year. I mean, he caught a bunch of deep bombs. Like, he did have one thing I don't think we touched on. I did want to bring up his hands might be a bit of an issue. He had kind of a higher drop percentage rate than I would like to see. That always makes me a little nervous. Sometimes these like super fast guys just get their alligator arms and they don't fit super well. So that's something that can be cleaned up a little bit. But like, that was like the death of Kadarius Toney, right? It's like, dude couldn't catch a cold in the middle of winter. So you just never know. But
Yep.
I mean, I
Maybe
think he's
back
got the
when-
skill set to do it, right? It's just probably some good coaching, right fit. We'll see what happens. So he's one I want to keep an eye on too, to see like where he gets drafted, like what round, and then also what team does he go to.
Yeah, I think
something to keep in mind.
again, if he's all the wide receivers, we want them connected to good quarterbacks, of course. But
Mhm.
he's
He'd
a
be
guy that
great in
needs to
Buffalo
go.
with Josh Allen throwing them deep
Yeah.
balls. Like
Yeah,
Exactly,
Dom,
right?
yeah,
So he needs to go to a team that has a good quarterback. Have already a couple wide receivers. He could be the third option. So it will really depend. He's the type of guy that really, really, like you already said, will depend on where he goes.
Mhm.
But take a shot on him in the fourth round, third round, end of the third.
Yeah, and look out Travis Hunter, because he also doubles as the North Carolina Tar Heels point guard. So
yeah,
Ty Felton, that's right.
Wasn't that back in like the early 2000s?
I think
yeah,
it-
He
but
played,
that's
he
neither
played
here
for the
nor
Knicks for a while, didn't he? Ty Felton.
he did.
I feel like
He
I
did.
remember him playing.
Yeah.
Neither here nor there.
he went back to
What a-
school,
what a
finished it out
call,
at
dude.
Maryland.
What
Now he's playing.
Fantastic.
Wide receiver.
a little bit different body type. I remember him being a little shorter and bigger,
Only slightly.
Little thicker, yeah.
a little thicker.
Yeah,
But yeah, so little caution with a couple of my guys. They're deeper guys, but look for guys in those third and fourth round that could actually do something. They don't just have a name. They have some good traits, and if they land in a good spot, you'll feel good about it.
The deeper, the better. All right.
Right.
Hit one of my guys here too. Jaden Higgins, wide receiver out of Iowa State. I know there's two Iowa State wide receivers. I think Higgins is the one you're gonna want, not Jalen Knoll. I know some other people really like Knoll, but let me talk about Higgins here. I think he's gonna go top 50 in the NFL draft. I think he's not a first round guy. I think he's a top half of the second. He had the fourth highest score in our Fez ratings. He's 6'3", 217, ran a 4.47. He's good hands, good body control. He's actually moves pretty quick. Like his first couple steps for a big body guy, like it's kind of surprising. You don't think a big guy like that should move like that. He's the more than willing blocker, which always helps in run schemes, helps him stay on the field. I think he runs good routes. He played outside at Iowa State, but I think he could play. I think he could play in the slot and be a big body slot guy. Higgins was my 205 and a 14. Wow,
I think
that's awesome. I love that.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think that's where you like the cap, right? I think he's gonna go in like that 203, 205 range. In 12 teamers, right? So 14 like 207. That's pretty darn good. So yeah, I actually like both wide receivers, Higgins and I don't know, Knoll, whatever it is. They're different. Yeah, they're different. So, but I like Higgins more. Firmly, in my opinion, going to go day 2, probably in the second round. Yeah, exactly, Nick. Grab both of them. So yeah, I like both. But we are talking about Higgins, right? So I want to stay with him, not go over to Knoll. But yeah, I think the bigger guy is going to be quite good in the NFL. I think it will could be a really, really good wide receiver too. So take him with confidence in round 2.
I like it. I would love it too if he went to like the Giants at the top of the second and could play inside with Malik Neighbors outside. I think that would be now. Granted, Russell Wilson might dictate some of that, but like I think he would do really well there. I think he could do really well in Jacksonville in that scheme. I think he could do well in New England with Drake May. There's a lot of options kind of in that top half of the second round where I think he would do really well. Dallas with CeeDee Lamb, I think he'd do really well there. He had now I know some people kind of poo-poo on PFF, and that's fine. Like whatever, take it for what it's worth. But like he had the highest PFF receiving grade in the class this past season, so like he did something right. I think and we touched on it too. He's one of my favorite second round picks, right? Especially one of my favorite receivers. Like if you don't get like Ted McMillan or like Matthew Golden in the first round, you need a receiver. Like I think Jaden Higgins is going to be a guy that you can do. You're going to be happy with at the end of the day, right?
Absolutely.
Big Hig.
Big Hig.
Big Hig. Here he comes. Big Hig.
I would assume they do.
Rocco's not that bad, Nick. Come on. I mean, he's
Rocco's
not
fine.
great. He's not, but he's not terrible.
He's a
He's
fine
not
college
terrible
quarterback.
like
He's not
Arizona
an NFL guy.
or
Yeah,
yeah.
he's okay. He's a competent Big 12 quarterback, and that's probably about as far as the compliments are going to go.
Ooh, I saw one Higgins was mocked to the Broncos. I like that.
Oh, I like that too. You know,
Yep.
and they would draft him. They draft all of my favorite players. Just it really upsets me, but they would do that too.
Oh, that sucks. That sucks for you.
It really does.
Yeah, it's rough.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
You know, at least
I
they,
don't
yeah, whatever. Anything else on Higgins before I move on to my next guy?
No, I just hope he doesn't land on the Packers. I was just looking at some mocks, but
So,
yeah, I hope.
I actually
Well,
don't
I mean,
think
it'd be
that bad.
fine actually.
Let me, and here's why. So Romeo Doubs and Christian Watson both have expiring contracts this year. And I don't necessarily, I think Christian Watson's done. I don't think they're going to resign him. The dude can't stand
Yeah,
he lives in the blue tent.
Yeah.
Romeo Doubs they might bring back, but like even still, I think they need another guy. I actually think Jalen Royals might be a good fit in Green Bay as well. I know Ron, you talked about that guy, and they've gone down the Utah State route before with their quarterback, so why not another one? Right, worked out well the first time.
They play together?
No, they didn't overlap.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of good spots for these wide receivers. You know, like as long as they land with the wide receiver, or excuse me, with the quarterback, then I'm all for it.
Here's the thing, like these receivers, they don't. I was just reading Wes's chat. The wide receivers in this year's class aren't necessarily like your prototypical like one on an offense, but they're all I think they're starting wide receivers. I think they'll get on the field in like 3 wide receiver formations. What that translates to fantasy might be maybe like low end wide receiver 2s, which doesn't like get the juices flowing, but like you still need them, right? They're still useful on your fantasy team. So like they're not gonna like make your fantasy team, but they're definitely like nice pieces to have.
Yeah. And for me, it's like in the second after the top 4 or 5 running backs, if you like Caleb Johnson. But after that, like all these wide receivers that could be wide receiver 2s and 3s and be really good flex plays, and all they need is a 30-yard catch and a touchdown, and then you get 8 to 10 points and you're good to go there, right? So I feel more comfortable grabbing those type of guys than the running backs 5 through 10 or whatever.
Did you guys forget to add Caleb Johnson as your my guy? I didn't see him on the dock anywhere.
I started typing him, and then just so I could
got him,
delete it.
All right, I'm not.
I don't expect myself to have any Caleb Johnson.
Yeah, I would expect that. I would expect that people probably take him before I would.
Yeah, or if he's
it's generally more so what's going to happen. Like, there's a certain point where I'll take anybody that gets the draft capital, basically.
Sure. But waivers are free, so
right.
I'm just kidding.
Shit.
He's not that fast.
And this I know he there's a lot of people that like him. So like if he's there at 201, 112, whatever, like I'll try to shop the pick and see if I can get something for him.
Definitely. Yeah. All right, let me hit the last my guy here. Devin Neal, running back out of Kansas. We got ourselves a big boy here. He's 5'10", 220. He do be thick. He kind of I really liked him a lot, and he was gaining a lot of steam pre-combine. And then he went out and he ran a 4.58, and then people kind of faded him again. But like I just want to remind people that combine testing and 40-yard dash times aren't everything. 2 of some of the best running backs in the league right now are Kyron Williams and Bucky Irving. Both ran crappy 40 times at the combine. So not saying Devin Neal is that guy. I'm just saying I think he can do it all. Like I think he can play. Maybe he didn't test well. Like I'm not going to sugarcoat that, but like the dude can ball. He's a 4-year player at Kansas. He was a pretty highly ranked recruit, and he chose Kansas. I think he's from there, but he chose Kansas out of all places. He had a bunch of offers to go pretty much anywhere he wanted. He stayed home to go to Kansas, which is weird at the time. But he played basically as a true freshman through his senior season. He does have a lot of mileage on him. He carried the ball quite a bit.
Yeah.
But I mean, good hands. He used mostly as a check down guy. He's a tough runner, short yardage situations. Good and willing pass blocker. He doesn't have the greatest speed in the world, as indicated by the 40 time, but like he's fast enough. I think he's like got like sufficient speed. I don't think he's gonna like. You're not gonna confuse him with like a Devon Achane out there, but he's fast enough to kind of do what he needs to do. Right. I think he's got good vision. I think he's a really good I think he can get like goal line touches. I think he profiles more as like a 1B in an offense, is kind of like a short yardage and like a physical runner. And because he can pass block, I think he can get on the field on like third downs, and he's competent enough at catching the ball out of the backfield. Like I think he's going to get on the field for someone. I think a really good spot for him to go might be in like Cincinnati to go with like Chase
That's what
Brown.
I was just thinking.
I think those two would be awesome together. I don't know where he's going to get drafted, right? And so I don't think he's going to go super high. I think he's like a back end of the third guy, or like a early day 3 guy, kind of in the 4th round of rookie or the NFL draft, which he's probably someone I'm going to target in like the early 3rd of rookie drafts. I think that's a good spot for him. I think he's that's a good spot, and I think it's I'm worth taking a chance on him right there.
Right.
Agreed. I like him a lot. I actually got him on a Devy thinking he was going to come out last year. And I think actually it was really good for him to go back, and because he put up a lot of numbers this year. And I remember watching the game against Colorado. Obviously, they don't have the greatest defense, but he took advantage. I think he had over 200
He ended
yards.
Colorado season.
Oh,
yeah,
almost single-handedly.
Absolutely went.
Yeah, he torched him. Right?
I think that was when everybody learned who Devin Neal was.
Everyone said, "Holy hell, who's this dude from Kansas?"
He looked all world there, which you want running backs too when you're playing a bad defense. But yeah, when you were talking, I was thinking of like where would be a good spot, and Cincinnati popped in my head. Right, Chase Brown's like the same height, but about I think 12 pounds lighter. And they could probably complement each other pretty darn well. So I think, but like I was just saying, I like Devin Neal a lot, but I feel more comfortable taking some of these wide receivers in the back end of the second versus like a Devin Neal, right? Because I don't know how much he's going to be a fantasy asset right away. So like I feel more comfortable taking those wide receivers. But I like 301, 302. I think that would be
early 3rd. He's all mine. I was just pulling up the box score for the Colorado game. He had 287 total yards and 4 touchdowns.
Good Lord,
dude! They knew he was getting the ball.
That's an entire offense right there.
Almost 300 yards. That's insane.
That's Nutter Butters. He had 16 touchdowns his senior season, over 1,200 rushing yards. Pair that with 266 receiving yards. Most of those came in that Colorado game, which is kind of funny. The one kind of knock on him, right, that I've seen is 759 total attempts at Kansas. That's a lot of mileage on him already as a running back. It leads you to kind of question, okay, how long is he going to be in the NFL? I don't think it's a huge issue, right? Like I think sure, like his rookie contract, so your first 4 years, which is all you really probably want to look at anyways. I think he'll be great, right? So, he's a guy I'm gonna maybe, depending if he gets a juicy landing spot, maybe I'll sneak him into the back end of the second round of rookie picks. But he's a guy I'm keeping an eye on for sure to see where he goes. He's one of my favorites. Like I said, dude, he's a thick boy. He's a strong runner. Like he's just fun to watch. Like if you have some time, find some YouTube clips of him. He's a fun running back to watch.
Yeah, if you didn't watch the Colorado game, go ahead. That's the first thing you should look up.
That's the one you should find.
He looked good.
Yeah,
it was a one-man wrecking crew on a mission.
Yes, he was. I think on the running back touches in college, I read a study about it that JB shared with me a couple years ago, and I don't want to misquote it, but I'll quote it anyway. And I want to say it's like little to no correlation to future success or injury relation to past carries, basically. If you guys want it or anything, I'm sure I can message JB and he knows what I'm talking about or which article I'm
Yeah.
talking about. He can send me the link and I can send it to people if people want it.
The comp I saw for Devin Neal, which I thought was funny, was Zach Charbonnet. Which I
don't know.
I think he's a better Charbonnet. And Charbonnet was a good prospect. Like Charbonnet was a top 50 pick. Like, I don't know.
And
well, I think he was just outside 50, but still.
And Charbonnet is good when he gets, he gets on the
Charbonnet's
field,
been
right?
fine.
So
Mhm.
yeah, so I think that's a solid comp.
I think so too.
I know Ron doesn't
Fannin?
like it but what?
Oh, Greg said we forgot to
Oh,
talk about
Harold. Harold Fannin?
I was just taking
Harold
a stab
Fannin?
that was the Harold he was talking about.
So, all right, I'll talk about Harold Fannin real quick. He's a good player, super productive at Bowling Green. He's kind of in that weird, like, is he a smaller, like a bigger wide receiver, or is he like a smaller tight end? He's kind of in that tweener. He's got to go to the right situation, right? He also didn't test well, which is really weird. I thought he was going to run a lot faster than he did, especially because he came in kind of light and he still ran kind of slow. But like, he's an interesting dude because like he torched Penn State earlier this year and Texas A&M, both who had like top 40 defenses. Penn State in particular, I mean, Bowling Green almost beat Penn State, and it was pretty much because of Harold Fannin. So I think it's one of those situations where he can play. He might not have tested well, but I think the dude can play, right? So he's a guy that I will take a shot on probably in the 3rd round. I'm curious to see the draft guide what he gets, because I know the NFL gets weird sometimes with like body types. He doesn't have like the right body type that a lot of teams look for. I don't think that's like diminishing on whether or not he can play, but I do think that does impact where he's going to get drafted. So I think he's going to slip to day 3. I know it wasn't that long ago people were talking about him as like a day 2 guy. I think he's kind of fallen out of favor a little bit, but I like Harold Fannin a lot.
Mason Taylor's might be the one
and Terrace Ferguson is the one I've seen kind of jump up a lot too. He tested really well at the combine. He has a similar body type as Harold Fannin, but I think he had better testing.
His gauntlet was better too. Fannin's gauntlet was like a little bit like
he's
kind of all over the place, and then his hands looked super like
he's goofy, dude. He's a goofy like runner. Like when you watch him, it's like it kind of reminds you of like Bambi trying to learn how to like walk for the first time. But like ultra productive. I mean, he had probably 2 of the best tight end seasons that we've seen.
Yeah, you can't
in the last 2 years. But like if you watch him and you didn't know that, you'd be like, who the hell is this dude? Why are we watching him?
And so is it like the Brock Bowers standing next to Rob Gronkowski photo from the NFL draft season last year?
Like, a little bit.
This guy? This is the guy?
But now it's not just a picture. It's like, oh, you're watching him do it. And it's just like,
right.
I mean, if you watch his gauntlet a little bit, I think one thing that people are a little worried about, his hands didn't like it didn't seem like it was very soft, right? It came in there and just like could have bounced off pretty easily. His hands just looked a little stiff, and I remember the commentators talking about that. But he was ultra productive.
Drop the ball ever either. Yeah. So like it's like all these things that it just doesn't look right, but it works for him.
Gets it done.
So,
yeah.
I don't know,
Sounds
man.
like
I think it's worth.
Sounds like a baller.
He's either like, do you guys remember Hunter Long a few years ago out of Boston College? Yeah. He's either going to be like that, or he could be like Evan Ingram, where he just kind of makes it work. There's not going to be like an in between, right? He's either going to totally flame out, or he's going to be awesome.
Sure.
And it's like if you get him in the 3rd round, I mean, I'll take that shot. Most 3rd round picks don't work out anyways, right? So shoot for the.
I haven't seen this anywhere, but I was thinking of like him on the Rams, because they already have Colby Parkinson that could block, and they have Higbee, that could
can't raise the dead here, Wes.
So that's like I think it'll be fine. Yeah, I have Quinn Ewers. I have him on a couple Debbie's, and JT just
did you drop him already?
Yesterday. Not yet.
Just cast a necromancy spell on him. Just raise that. Man.
That one I got some really good Debbie's in, man. That one, if you didn't see it, go back to our Patreon chat, and JT just roasted me.
Has any quarterback ever looked worse with that many like NFL talent around him. Like
Not that I remember.
Jatavian Sanders, Gunnar Helm, Xavier Worthy, Isaiah Bond, Matthew Golden. Who was the other one? A.D. Mitchell last year at Texas. Like my
The
God,
quarterback after Burrow.
LSU.
Yeah. Was it Jaden? Or was it there was guys in between Jaden?
There was a guy in between before Daniels transferred in.
Okay.
But he was bad too.
Yeah. But Chase didn't play. He sat out for the COVID year.
Quinn Ewers is going to be nothing, in my opinion. Like,
yeah, probably not.
Absolutely.
He's pretty bad.
Oh.
Did you hear the sleeper draft go off too?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did too. I was wondering what that was for a minute. But yeah, so next week, I don't think we're going to do a show, but we have a watch party for the NFL draft. So we will be there on Thursday.
Yes.
I'm going to update some rankings, and then I don't think we're going to do anything on Friday, but we'll be around watching and kind of chatting. So come hang out in our Discord, and we'll be chatting it up, watching the draft, and having a good time. So
yes, sir.
Hey, buddy, join up.
Definitely do it.
True.
Peace out.